You spend the entire day at work. Even though you manage to balance meals, meetings, laundry, and school pickup, the mess still prevails. It is not necessary to have an ideal home. All you want is to get home and stop feeling overpowered by everything. For this reason, even though life seems to be going on forever, I'm going to share in today's video the practices that will help you maintain your home tidy. Not large-scale initiatives, but little actions that, when taken consistently, have a significant impact. You'll probably continue cleaning if you skip this video, but you won't feel like your place is truly kept clean. Even in a bustling lived-in home, these behaviors are what transform consistent work into tangible, long-lasting outcomes. Feel free to follow these behaviors with me if you're viewing this at home. You may test it out in your own area as I go through each one, even if it's just a single drawer, a corner, or a tiny reset. Together, let's accomplish this. Let's begin with a modest yet effective surface. Do you know how it feels to have items on every shelf or counter table? Even the cleanest place feels heavy because of things like mail, half-used items, drinks, chargers, and a few toys. This was one change that really affected me. Keep most surfaces free of obstructions. Intentional, but not empty. As a child, my mother had a straightforward rule. No surface can have more than 3 items on it. It felt rigid at the time. I understand now, though. There is less mental congestion when there is less visual clutter. Visual clutter is like background noise for your brain. So instead of asking, "What else can I put here?" try asking what actually deserves to stay here. Over time, it drains you, even if you don't notice it at first. Clearing surfaces allows your mind and eyes to relax. Try this with me if you're viewing at home. Choose one surface, such as your coffee table, kitchen counter, or nightstand. Take everything out. Then just 3 items that you genuinely love or use on a daily basis should be restored. That's all. Little change, tremendous difference. If you attempted this with me, please let me know which surface you choose in your remark. It may surprise you how serene that one uncluttered area can feel. Don't miss tomorrow's video if this habit has changed your life. Every time you bring something new into your house, I'll show you one easy guideline that will prevent clutter from returning. It may also change the way you shop, and it's one of the simplest ways to stay ahead of the problem. But let's get back to the topic of today. Easy routines that truly endure. And here's how to maintain that feeling in the room once you've cleared that surface and noticed how peaceful it is. Because the clutter doesn't appear all at once. With whatever we bring home, it infiltrates. This is an easy habit. Every time you add anything new to your house, you also have to get rid of something. It's 1 out of 2. Even though it may seem like a lot, this is the best way to prevent the gradual accumulation of clutter. Silently, clutter accumulates. In the little yeses, not the big ones. A cheap shirt that you don't particularly like. A freebie that you don't actually require. Then, all of a sudden, your home feels more cramped than your schedule, and your drawers refuse to close. The script is flipped by this habit. When I purchased a new jumper last month, I forced myself to remove 2 others, the ones that were consistently ignored, because it asks, if I say yes to this, what am I saying no to? It was easy to let them go. Admitting that I will never wear them again was the difficult part. But space came back when I did. In my mind, as well as in the closet. Avoid waiting for a major buying event. Choose 2 tiny items to release, even if you bring home a notepad, hand cream, or a new mug. You're safeguarding the area you've already cleared in addition to decluttering. Additionally, you may discover something intriguing if you begin to keep your area free of fresh debris. We aren't constantly overwhelmed by the things we recently purchased. Sometimes it's the stuff we no longer notice at all. This one is straightforward and slightly audacious. Remove all objects from a single room. Nothing. No decorations. No backup supplies. Nothing is being thrown out. All you're doing is pausing for a moment and allowing the room to relax. Clutter eventually disappears. As we pass the same baskets, trays, and piles, we cease to notice their emotional impact. But you notice everything when it's gone. The room feels lighter all of a sudden. The commotion subsides. And you'll do it differently when it comes time to put things back. Pick one area, perhaps your kitchen island, entryway table, bathroom counter, or kitchen. Take everything out. Store it in a drawer or box somewhere secure, but not permanently. Then, for a few days, live with that emptiness. Give your eyes a break. Give the room some breathing room. Only then should you return the few things that feel correct. You might not even notice the others. You may begin to perceive your house in a new light after completing that experiment with the transparent surface. The next step is to figure out how to prevent the clutter from returning after you have a clear view of it. Consider this as your home's background maintenance. A thorough decluttering session is not necessary. All you have to do is pay attention to the little things and take action. A stack of vintage magazines. Go through it. Reuse what has been done. A drawer that refuses to shut. After 60 seconds, eliminate the glaring surplus. You keep ignoring something on the counter. You may wonder why it remains. Being merciless is not the goal of editing. Being aware of what is accumulating is key, particularly when we're exhausted, busy, or preoccupied with things other than the house. Clutter silently accumulates. However, your home will never grow too far ahead of you if you develop the small habit of modifying as you go. Brushing your teeth is similar to this. Daily maintenance, not a thorough cleaning. Choose one item, such as a shelf, a drawer, or a corner, while you go about your house today. Let go of one thing and ask yourself, what here doesn't need to be here anymore? That's all. You're editing. Additionally, it gets easier the more you do it. Additionally, you may start to see a pattern as you modify more frequently. Even items we love don't make up all of the clutter we keep. It comes from items we believed we needed. I used to believe that my cleaning skills would improve with the number of items I owned, so this one surprised me. Tile, foam, glass spray, and hob cleanser. There are 5 different kinds of disinfectants. Does that sound familiar? Here's the reality, though. A clean home doesn't require a cabinet full of supplies. The majority of the time, we are purchasing more than simply a product. There is a glimmer of optimism. I hope this spray will eventually speed up cleaning, or perhaps this device will help you feel closer to one another. However, excessive purchasing results in waste, clutter, and, unfortunately, choice fatigue. I now only have a few essentials: vinegar, dish soap, microfiber towels, and a decent all-purpose cleaner. That's all. And it's effective. I have more space now. I have easier routines. Additionally, I never waste time open bottles. I never enjoyed it. In any case, open your supply basket or cleaning cupboard. Take out any products, especially duplicates, that you haven't used in months. Consider giving or properly disposing of the remainder after setting aside what you actually use. More clarity, fewer options, and less stuff. The next question is, how do you keep things tidy without spending your entire life cleaning? After your tools are straightforward and efficient, more work isn't the solution. Every day, a tiny, gradual reset is carried out. Consider this your home's closing shift. Just a quick sweep through your main areas, putting things back where they belong, throwing away rubbish, and wiping down surfaces that need it, not a thorough cleaning or a perfect finish. Ignoring it will cause the issue to worsen tomorrow, and then over the weekend until it becomes too much to handle. However, you offer yourself a present when you clean up before bed. You awaken to peace. Instead of starting the day behind, you start ahead. It's similar like brewing coffee for your future self before she even asks. It is 10 minutes beyond my daughter's bedtime for me. I clean down the countertops, reset the kitchen sink, and look around the living room for toys. Just enough to make the morning easy, nothing special. I also play music and set a timer when I'm exhausted. I'm done when it's finished, and it always makes me feel better. Before going to bed, pick 2 or 3 small things you can complete. Perhaps it's fluffing the couch pillows, clearing the dining table, and throwing away paper clutter. Your night reset is that. It's not about the house being flawless, but about feeling in control of the mess. Resets every night aid in reducing surface clutter. However, what about the mess that lurks inside the oven, behind the sink, and behind the refrigerator? Here's how to deal with it without becoming burned out. Divide your kitchen into manageable weekly victories rather than waiting until it becomes intolerable. Once a week, one zone. That's all. Most of us steer clear of deep cleaning since it conjures up images of a demanding all-day task. However, thorough cleaning doesn't have to be labor-intensive. It remains doable and strangely fulfilling if you only pick one little zone at a time. Mondays are for the refrigerator door, in my opinion. I'll work on the microwave next week. A week later, beneath the wash basin. Just make progress, no pressure. And even if I only have 15 minutes, I can actually finish it because it's not too big. Choose one part of the kitchen that you have been neglecting. Perhaps the back of the pantry, the stove grates, or the cutlery drawer. Set a 10 to 20-minute timer. Just concentrate on it. Over time, it adds up to a small pocket of relief. Although deep cleaning one area once a week helps with the hidden filth, the little repetitive tasks, like washing the floor, the drop zone, and the dishes, are what gradually wear us down on a daily basis. This next habit is crucial in that situation. These are the 1 to 3 tasks in your home that must happen every day. They are what keep you sane when life gets messy, as it usually does, not because they are large or magnificent. Your anchors are these. They're the little actions that say, I've got this. I'm in control of my space, even if the rest of the house is chaotic, and they're different for everyone. For me, it's unloading the dishwasher in the morning, wiping the kitchen floor in the evening, and clearing the entry table before bed. They take less than 15 minutes altogether. But when I skip them, I feel behind all day. My husband's non-negotiable. Making the bed. Mine, honestly, I couldn't care less. But for him, that's what makes the room feel done. That's the beauty of it. You choose what matters to you. Ask yourself, what are the 1 to 3 things that make your home feel out of control when they're not done? Then flip it. Those are your non-negotiables. Start small, stick with them, and feel the difference. Daily non-negotiables help you stay steady, but sometimes it's the tiny things, the ones no one talks about, that quietly improve your entire home. This next habit is one of those "why didn't I do this sooner" things. Sounds like a small detail, right? But if you've ever taken out the trash and noticed the bin still smells, this habit is your solution. Garbage smells linger even when the bag's gone. Over time, the residue builds up, the odor sticks around, and the kitchen never quite feels fresh. By making it a habit to spray and wipe the bin after every empty, you stay ahead of that buildup. In our home, the garbage can is part of a pull-out drawer, so the smell is unavoidable. Now, every time we change the bag, we give the inside a quick spray with vinegar or disinfectant. By the time we come back, it's ready for a wipe and a fresh bag. It takes less than 30 seconds. But that clean-smelling kitchen feels like magic. Next time you take out the trash, don't just walk away. Spray the bin, let it sit while you tie the bag, then wipe and rebag. Done. One small tweak, and a surprising sense of calm. Once you start noticing the little things like a clean-smelling trash bin, you'll also notice how heavy cleaning can feel when you're already stretched thin. And that's where this next habit helps shift the energy entirely. Let's be honest, most of us don't want to clean. It's not exciting. It's not fun. It's just something that needs to get done. But here's the trick. Make cleaning time double as me time. When you pair cleaning with a podcast, playlist, or audiobook, you're not just scrubbing or folding. You're learning, laughing, unwinding. Suddenly, time moves faster, and the task feels lighter. I'll pick a 30-minute podcast, something I actually want to listen to, and that becomes my timer. Laundry, dishes, bathroom, wipe down. I clean until the episode ends. Then I stop. No guilt, no dragging it out. Some days I even look forward to it because it's my excuse to listen in peace. Before your next cleaning task, cue up something you love. A podcast, a playlist, an episode you've been meaning to catch. Let it carry you through. Your hands will be working, but your mind free. And once cleaning starts to feel easier, you'll likely circle back to the stuff, the clutter, the decisions. You'll pick something up and think, should I keep this? Maybe. What if I need it? And then you set it back down again. That's where this next habit becomes a gamature. Not everything needs to be kept, but not everything needs to be tossed on the spot either. A waste station is a simple in-between a basket, a box, or a bin where you put items you think you're ready to part with, but aren't quite sure yet. Decluttering often gets stuck at the decision point. You're tired. You're unsure. You second-guess yourself. A waste station removes the pressure. You're not saying goodbye forever, just giving yourself space to let go later with more clarity. In our home, we have a small bin in the closet. Every few weeks, we do a pass. Check what's in there and ask, have I missed this? If the answer is no, it's ready to leave. No drama, no guilt. Find a small container and label it. Use it for clothes you avoid, items you keep moving, or things you might need someday. Set a reminder to check it in a month. If you haven't thought about what's inside, you're ready to let it go. The waste station helps you release what no longer fits. But what if you could stop clutter before it even enters your home? That's what this next habit is all about. Before you bring anything new home, when am I going to use it? Is it compatible with my current possessions? If you can't picture it clearly, it probably doesn't belong. A lot of clutter starts with good intentions. This looks useful. It's cute. I'll find a place for it later. But later often becomes never. And the thing sits untouched, adding noise to your space. Visualization helps filter out the almosts, so you only bring home what truly fits your life. I once stood in a store holding a gorgeous jumper, soft, well-priced in my color. But as I imagined it in my closet, I realized I already had thread. The next time you're standing in a store or lingering over a checkout button, stop and play detective and ask, but it's cute, but I might need it. That's when you need to ask smarter questions. Where am I going to keep it? Do I already have a comparable item? Is this merely a dopamine rush, or is it actually treating a problem? You'll have less regrets when you return home with more truthful responses. Although they provide a brief moment of joy, impulsive purchases frequently result in long-term clutter. Furthermore, they are typically addressing an emotional rather than a practical need. You can restore control by slowing down just enough and asking why you want something. Do I want to store these when the season's over? I asked myself after adding 3 throw pillows to my cart, because they appeared to be in season and fresh. The answer was no. I was all right after I replaced them. Very good. After 5 minutes, ask yourself 2 questions. The next time you are tempted to make an impulsive purchase, is this something I need right now? In 48 hours, will I still desire it? Your power is in the void between the impulse and the action. You start to see a trend when you start to think twice about your impulsive purchases. You're not saying that you want more things. You're yearning for something more profound. Joy, connection, surprise, meaning. And occasionally, making a purchase isn't the best approach to satisfy that urge. With an experience, that is. Ask yourself, what kind of moment could I create instead? Before you spend money on another just because item. Could that money be used for a peaceful walk and coffee with a friend? A workshop you've been interested in? Or even simply a meal with a friend? Your shelves are cluttered. Experiences stick with you. A lot of the items we purchase quickly lose their luster. However, it takes up no room in your home, creates a lasting laugh, pushes you outside your comfort zone, and creates a positive memory. On one of my birthdays, my mother got me scuba diving training. Despite my fear, I did it. I'm qualified now, and I will always remember that trip. If Mother had purchased a different jumper for me, I doubt I would have even remembered its color. Think about this the next time you're tempted to buy yourself something new. Instead, how about giving yourself a little experience? Because when the thing you truly want isn't available, it doesn't have to be costly, just deliberate. We may change our focus from owning to living by spending money on experiences. However, what about the items that are currently in your house? Here's your permission to quit worrying so much and start letting go of the people you keep passing, thinking, maybe I'll use that someday. You most likely don't need something if you've picked it up twice, considered using it, and haven't done so yet. Second-guessing doesn't improve clarity. It just adds delay. In actuality, we begin to defend clutter more and more the longer we hesitate. It's not simply stuff that causes clutter. It's about postponed decisions. Here's the habit. Every time you put off picking that object, it keeps consuming your energy, taking up room and whispering, "You should deal with me." Trust your gut and let go when you experience that hesitancy. My curls were a hard mess after using a hair product. I kept it on the shelf for months just in case, even though I disliked it after using it once. Why the guilt? Cost? Waste? In actuality, though, it was squandering more room than cash. I felt immediately clearer after tossing it one day. The decision was taken, not merely because the bottle was empty. Take a stroll around your house. Decide on one thing you've been putting off. Perhaps it's hidden in a drawer or resting on your counter. Avoid analyzing. Don't explain. Simply ask yourself, do I want to carry this forward? And if not, let it go. Everything seems lighter the more you follow your gut. Those were the routines. They are easy, achievable, and they do work. Let it lighten your day a bit by starting with just one. In the upcoming video, I'll discuss several effective mental adjustments and surprising decluttering techniques that can genuinely improve the atmosphere in your house and your feelings there. If this was helpful, please subscribe for more serene real-life stuff like this. Like the video and share it with a friend. I appreciate you watching.